Give props to The Last American Vagabond. If you haven't checked out thelastamericanvagabond.com or on YouTube, Last American Vagabond, TLAV, The Last American Vagabond. I gotta give him props because he keeps on about this subject, even though it's repetitive, but it doesn't matter. It's more important than just about anything else in the world right now. And that would be Yemen, where 20 million people are starving to death intentionally, and it's being done by our own military and Saudi Arabia's military. Congress has passed a bill to stop arms sales to Saudis so that they won't do that, because it's not it's not military that's starving, it's civilians. They're bombing civilians, they're bombing residential houses, they're taking out water supplies and food sources, they're blocking food from getting to people intentionally because they put Saudi Arabia in charge of making sure that the food gets to their enemies, Yemen. So they make sure it's well rotten before it gets there. And I'm sure they're willing to eat it with all the bugs and stuff in it because they're starving to death. But it's not enough. 80% of the entire country needs food and medicine to survive. They're dependent on aid programs. And the United Nations, the food program that's sending food to them, has announced that they're no longer sending food to them because the rebels in Yemen have been stealing the food from the people. So they're going to further starve the civilian population in order to make sure that the opposition doesn't get any food. So there's that. 80% of the country is in need. Most of the country is screwed without, really screwed without support or without aid. So what can we do about it? Because we already passed legislation saying we won't sell arms to Saudi Arabia. Problem is, our president has said that he will veto anything that comes across his desk regarding it, because we need the money from the arms sales, because otherwise we're all going to starve, or maybe eat 1 cent, or I don't know the numbers. It's negligible what it'll do to the American public to continue stopping arms sales to Saudi Arabia. It's mind-blowing to me how we can be silent on this and not even talk about it, and the news has covered it maybe twice, and it's been going on 5 years. Starvation is boring. It's not media worthy to starve to death. It's not worthy of the news. But the Kardashians and other frivolous crap is. There's something wrong with our culture, with our news. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on screen, because I'm not good at this. And I'm only doing it because we all need to stand up for these atrocities. Because otherwise, here's the greedy part, otherwise I have to live with 20 million people starving to death because I didn't say anything. Wasn't even willing to talk to people about it. Form a consensus that it's not okay. And hold Congress accountable, not just for whether they pass the bill, but whether they follow up and make sure, do all they can to save those people, because they're innocent civilians. And they sit on top of a lot of resources that, if they all die, who owns them? Not them. I don't know if that's the intent, but I know that they're arming both sides of the conflict. So look into it for yourself. I'm not going to tell you all the details because anybody can look it up. It's not like it's got a partisan issue. You know, if you're this way or the other, then it's okay. Nobody says it's okay except for the people selling the weapons. They're like, well, no, we need to sell the weapons. And that's their entire argument. They know both sides. I mean, they know that there is no both sides about it, that we are doing something horrific, and that there is no justification for it. There's no justification for what we're doing in Yemen, or what Saudis are doing in Yemen. There's no Al-Qaeda there. That's a fucking joke. My senator here in Riverside County wrote me back saying, well, there's Al-Qaeda there, that's why we're there. Yeah, both of the Al-Qaeda members are working for us, I think. I'm not being literal there, but there's no serious Al-Qaeda in Yemen, and they sure as hell are not like a threat to the United States, even if they are. So it's a frivolous argument, and it's just, I don't know what to say, so here it is. I don't want to be held accountable, so here's what they tell me, and I'm going to pass that along because it's not my problem. It's your problem, it's my problem. Sure as hell as the senators and Congress people's problem, but I'm glad they're doing something about it. But it's little late, because right now 14 innocent civilians are being killed per day in Yemen via bombings alone. They're targeting residential homes. 100 people a day. 100 people, 14 people per hour. I could be wrong. No, sorry. 100 people a week, 14 people a day. Sorry, way less. But yet, and respectful grief to Khashoggi. I'm pronouncing it wrong. But it's all about him, and he's one person. We're talking 14 innocent civilians a day that they don't talk about, but they talk about him a lot. So those innocent 14 people a day are just they're disposable people. They don't act like us or look like us or something. If they were white people in Europe, we'd be talking about it. What's up with that? You know what's up with that. We all know what's up with that. There's no good reason for it. It's racism. It's heartbreaking. Please do something about it. At least, just please, if you don't know about it, look into it and find out about it so that you know and can bring it up with other people. Just knowledge about it, just general consensus that it's bullshit might help things change somehow. That's what I got.